Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Monica Mobley. I'm the Dean for STEM at Arkansas State University Newport, and I am also your biology instructor this semester. These recordings are going to help you pinpoint some of the main ideas in your chapters, and we are starting with chapter 1, which is biology, the study of life. What does it mean for something to be alive? Well, all living organisms have some things in common. The first is that all living organisms consist of cells, and as the cells all have an outer membrane. So whether it's a plant cell, even though it has a cell wall, it still has an outer membrane. On the left of this image, you're seeing an amoeba. An amoeba is a single-celled organism, so it does consist of cells. All living organisms consist of cells. But some are single-celled or unicellular organisms, and some have multiple cells or multicellular organisms, such as the plankton, the zooplankton on the right of this screen. So you can see that they have various different body parts. Each of those body parts would consist of multiple cells. For example, an eye, several of these organisms have eyes. Eyes consist of millions of cells. So multicellular organisms, some are more simple and some are very complex. Human being, for example. Another complex organism would be a baleen whale. And fun little fact, baleen whales, which are the largest living organisms on Earth, and as far as we know are the largest organisms that have ever lived, they eat these zooplankton. That's the primary source of their diet. They actually open their baleen and rake these guys in and eat them up. So to be alive, outer membrane, consist of cells, and also contain genetic material, DNA. There are a few exceptions of specific types of cells that do not contain DNA, for example, red blood cells. But a red blood cell is not a free living organism. A red blood cell is a part of a living organism. So some very minor exceptions, but for the most part, outer membrane contain the genetic material, DNA, and consist of cells. There are three main domains of life. On the left-hand side of this screen, you see a plant cell. Plants and animals belong to a group of organisms called eukaryotes, or the domain eukarya. There are also other organisms in that as well. Eukaryotes tend to be more complex, and they have specific features of the cells, which we'll learn more about when you get to the chapter actually on cells. In the center of your screen, you see the second domain, which is prokarya or prokaryotes. And then on the right are archaeans, and archaea and prokaryote, as you can see, are single-celled. They tend to be very simple organisms. Um, they both have outer membranes. They do have DNA, and they are cells. So they consist of the characteristics of life, but they tend not to be complex and are not multicellular. However, eukaryotes do tend to also exist as single-cell organisms and as multicellular organisms. So three main domains: prokarya, eukarya, and archaea.